like disheartening. I want to get your opinion on this situation.
I mean, that's why it's called my so crooked opinion.
Yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? One or the other. There was an altercation in Brooklyn with
Why are you saying this in Brooklyn?
That's where it was at.
Oh shit.
It was in Brooklyn.
Shit.
You know how Brooklyn get down.
Damn. Fuck it up again.
But anyway, there was an altercation in Brooklyn where a neighbor had a complaint about the noise to another neighbor. Said neighbor's wife came outside, had a couple of words with the gentleman. Then the husband and the son came out. And long story short, the husband and the son both lost their lives based on the argument and things like that. Now, I want to get both of y'all assessment on the situation, how y'all feel about it, who was wrong, who was right.
Brooklyn was Brooklyning.
Brooklyn was definitely Brooklyning.
We're not gonna double do that. We're not gonna do
Brooklyn
that.
was definitely Brooklyn in this situation.
We don't know
right
if
here.
he was from Brooklyn. He just lived there.
That was some Brooklyn shit.
That was some real Brooklyn shit.
The homie came out the crib with
And
some
then-
scissors. If that ain't some Brooklyn shit, I don't know what is.
I don't know how to bring a knife to a gunfight.
Well, here's the problem. No.
And then my man waited for the elevator.
Well, here's the issue.
You know how at peace you have to be to
He
do
wasn't
some
waiting for the
violence.
elevator.
What was he waiting
elevator was
on?
already
The
there.
cops?
The elevator was already there. And the problem that I think some people, here's the thing. I knew what it was like as a child living on top of someone. And what kind of drama that brings. That's why when we decided to move to Connecticut, I said, not never again. I want my children to be able to play how they want, and they're going to do whatever they want. But I also never knew what it was like to have someone live on top of me. And there was a few incidences when we first moved here where I had to check my neighbor due to the fact that her daughter had a large speaker, like a subwoofer type shit that had on the floor. And mind you, at the time, August was like 8 months.
You catching a double homicide with that?
Here's the
She
thing,
needs
though.
some sleep.
Here's the problem. If I went through all the steps by texting you, because at the time me and her were still speaking. Hey, listen, it's 11 something at night. I have an infant here. Have some common courtesy.
That's how you would say it?
That's how it started in the beginning. But then over time, why are you not? It should be a routine. And let's be clear, I went as far as looking at
You know, ratchet people have no boundaries.
and that's fine. and that's fine because we can get there. But the thing is, I did my due diligence by making sure that I knew what the city ordinance was, like the noise ordinance. Every city has one.
Okay.
So I looked it up. Okay, let me make sure that I ain't tripping. Because if I do have to call the cops, guess what?
And I'm laughing
you said
because
city ordinance?
Yes.
I know that I'm laughing because I know exactly what this bitch did. She definitely looked up the city or noise ordinance. Like in my building,
the city ordinance.
in my building, the noise ordinance is at 10 o'clock. You be respectful.
Right.
At 10 o'clock. Okay.
Yes, that's what
10
it is.
o'clock.
It says Monday through
That's where I work. And it
Right,
should be
Monday
8
through
because y'all
Thursday,
seen
it's 10
this.
o'clock. And then on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, I think Sundays is like a little bit less, but I think it's also 10. But like the weekend, they give you till like 11.
To like
You can
11,
still
no
play
later
your
than
music.
12.
Right, you can
So be
still play your
respectful.
music, but it still has to be at a respectful level. So if your music is playing outside, for instance, if you're in your home and your music is blasting outside of your home, there's a problem.
Okay.
Because now you are disturbing the peace.
Now, I'm going to say this. I hear y'all what y'all saying about this whole city ordinance and all that. I'm from Castle Hill. I ain't never heard nobody even mention nothing about no city or... Yo.
But it is one. I guarantee you it is
Here's
one.
the thing. Here's the thing. And this is real talk. Your gangsterism determines when you cut your music off.
Sure.
The fuck out of here.
And what I mean by your gangsterism determines, meaning like, if you ain't really about that, you can knock on my door as many times as you want. I ain't cutting shit off. Do something about it.
My man in Brooklyn did.
And I'm saying this. I hear what y'all saying. Y'all coming from the logical standpoint. I hear y'all. Let you kind of understand where I'm coming from too. Is like, if your neighbor come to you and you know your neighbor's liable to slap the shit out you, yeah, you might cut the music down. Like, yo, I don't even want that smoke with this dude or this female or whatever. But if you ain't got an inch of respect for them, somebody come to your door, knock, it might hit you with a good little split you. You know how that shit go. Now, in this situation right here, I think that father underestimated his neighbor.
let's be clear, and this is the reason why we were discussing it yesterday. It was a premeditated situation.
Right.
Yeah,
because
he was
let's
set up.
be clear. You knocked on that man's door, and when the wife came to speak to you, you was standing. You was already standing at the elevator. If you knocked on someone's door, you're still standing at the door to have a conversation with them.
So he positioned himself.
You set yourself up because you already came there ready to shoot him. Because mind you, the elevator never left. Okay. That's one thing about Brooklyn elevator. Once it's on that floor, it's usually not going nowhere. Okay. Unless somebody rings for it on another floor. Uh-huh. So the way that door works, and most likely, unfortunately, that probably was in Flatbush somewhere. Them elevators is not going nowhere. That's why when he opened the door, the light was still there because the elevator was still there. Your intentions was to shoot him anyway. Okay. But his wife came out first. And then next, when he went back in, when the father went back in to get his clothes, now you're standing at the staircase because your next exit, because mind you, the elevator might have just left. Somebody might have called for the elevator. So now you're standing at the steps because your next exit is the steps. So your intentions was already you didn't go up there with the intentions of saying, hey, neighbor, bruh, your music's a little bit too loud. The fucking partying I just got off of work.
He probably did it one too many times, though. He probably asked nicely one too many times.
He probably did, but then do your due diligence. Because guess what? If you call the cops, and I know it sounds crazy, oh my God, we don't call the cops in the hood. Fuck you. Now you're going to fucking jail, stupid. For a double murder. Dummy. I would have exhausted all of my
Now here's the thing with calling the cops, right? And I'm not saying that you're wrong. Here's the thing with calling the cops. There's so many different variables with calling the cops. Like for instance, let's say you call the boys, right? The boys come, they tell them they gotta cut it down. They might cut it down. Boys leave, they cut it back up. Now you gotta go back up there and say something again or call the cops or whatever.
We're gonna be doing this all night.
All right, cool. We're going to be doing this all night. You don't know what type of gentleman dude looked like he fresh out of prison. I ain't going to lie. The father looked like he done
Why, because he work out? Don't do that.
He looked like he done did some, the way he carried himself when he came to homie, like the way he held the scissors and all that, like.
Because we don't know what was said. We don't know what the man said. But you don't know what he said to that man's wife first. So it could have been a situation where she went back in there over-exaggerating and the nigga started getting stupid.
But here's the thing.
You don't know what the fuck.
You already bigger than dude. You're already bigger than dude. You look like you're a little more well-built than him. You didn't necessarily need knives, bruh, unless you don't know how to shoot your hands. You didn't necessarily need...
But you don't know the circumstances of what happened previously.
No, I hear what
I'm trying to figure out where was the knife and where was the scissors. Where did that come in? Because I never seen that.
If you look
at didn't see the scissors? He had the little baby... You know the scissors that you used to cut hair?
You don't know.
It looked like one of those gray-handled scissors.
He held the scissors to his face while he was talking to him.
I thought that was his hand doing
Nah, that was
it's a scissor. It's not no scissor that's gonna get crazy. It was one of them it looked like little shears that you used to cut hair.
He probably was cutting his son's hair. Dumb shit.
Nah, he definitely came outside, had nothing in his hand, went back inside, put the shirt on, and grabbed the scissors. So when he grabbed the scissors, he's talking to dude. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people, and I don't agree with this, but I've seen it in different posts. A lot of people are blaming the women on that female. Because they're like, oh,
is there any sound? Was there any sound?
Huh?
Was there any sound on the video? I didn't hear anything.
No, it's a city building, so they wouldn't have any.
There was no sound. But I've seen a lot of different people saying, like, if the woman would have never came out and mouthed off to him, the father wouldn't have had that energy.
I saw some comments like that. Today. And that the son would still be alive if he would have went when the mother told him to or some shit. I couldn't watch this whole shit. I'm so, I joke a lot about it, but I can't anymore. Once I remove myself from situations where I would even have to be a part of shit like that, I don't even want to see it. I don't want to see it. And sadly, and I'm going to be honest with it, until I moved, because while I was in the projects, I was projecting.
She get on my fucking nerve.
No, y'all acting like y'all never been to one of my cookouts. When
I was in the projects, I was projecting.
Y'all act like y'all ain't never been to one of my cookouts that ended at 5, 6, 7 in the morning.
No,
music, alcohol, wilding. Oh, girl, you missed it. It was a time.
No, I did not. I'm okay.
You did. It was fun though. It was fun. But I literally, and when the cops would come, I would fix them a plate. They till I lower it down. No problem to turn the music down. We still out there being loud, still drinking. Because at this point, nobody really listens to music anyway. Niggas still eating, smoking, and drinking. But once I moved out of that environment, bitch, it's too loud here.
Right.